descendants of the enslaved. It is not okay for them to descend upon this city and to wreak terror. We knew that this was going to be violent because we had the flyers, the promotional flyers that these groups had already sent out. There were flyers calling for a race war, flyers calling to say, we're coming to take our country back. Are you kidding me? And this president wants to talk about revising history? Read some history.
And
Black people built this country.
And we know there were Black Lives Matter. We know there were some anti-fascist groups. Just lastly, in our last few seconds, in your view, as a witness to these events, were the anti-fascist groups perpetrating the violence, or were they the victims of the violence?
No, they were not. As a matter of fact, there were some clergy standing on the steps to the entrance of the park. They were not in the park. They were standing on the steps to the entrance of the park singing "This Little Light of Mine." These neo-Nazi groups came, burst through them with shields, began to beat them and trample on them. And the groups that Donald Trump are calling terrorists are the ones who saved their lives because the police were standing down. They saved their lives.
Wow. Thank you, the Reverend Tracy Blackmon. Really appreciate you. You're a witness to both the Friday night and the Saturday events in Charlottesville. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wow. Well, the president's stunning defense of the alt-right after this 2-minute break.
What powers
wow. This is what I walked back into?
That's why a cutting-edge university counts on CenturyLink to keep their global campus connected.
We sitting here doing this now?
And why a pro football team chose us to deliver fiber-enabled broadband.
This what's going on?
65,000 fans.
He already recanting his words? I came back here so I could eat in peace. I done took 1,000 photos today. I guess I'm famous. Some Panda Express. You didn't see me down at the Mayweather gym with all my fans. I walked through the door, they were like, what's up? You got the truth behind everything. Okay, why this isn't on? Okay, well there it is. That's what's up. Now let's see if this works. That's what's up. Floyd was there for about 5 minutes. He had to go film the Jimmy Kimmel show or something. So I hollered at him very briefly. But I'll be talking to him later on tonight. They'll be flying back in town. But yes, President Trump went against his own statement he made yesterday. Let's hear him.
That he fostered on Breitbart.com.
He said that the alt-right is behind these attacks, and he linked that same group to those who perpetrated the attack in Charlottesville.
Well, I don't know. I can't tell you. I'm sure Senator McCain must know what he's talking about. But when you say the alt-right, define alt-right to me. You define it. Go ahead.
Well, but what we do know after today's bizarre press conference is that Donald Trump doesn't really need Bannon or Breitbart, or indeed anyone else, in order to recite by heart the talking points of the alt-right, including on monuments and culture.
How about Thomas Jefferson? What do you think of Thomas Jefferson? You like him? Okay, good. Are we going to take down the statue? Because he was a major slave owner. Now we're going to take down his statue. So you know what? It's fine. You're changing history. You're changing culture.
Joining me now is Leon Wolf, managing editor of The Blaze. Well, Leon, one of the more extraordinary moments in this press conference was when Donald Trump essentially equated George Washington and Thomas Jefferson to Robert E. Lee and other Civil War generals. I mean, that is something that I have actually heard and seen tweeted at me by people on the alt-right. Was he adopting an alt-right talking point, or is that a broader conservative view?
Oh, you know, I've heard a lot of people kind of say that. And I'm always frustrated when people don't view historical figures kind of within the historical context in which they occurred. I mean, if you go back 500-600 years, you'll not find anybody who had attitudes about race, no matter how good of a person that they might have been otherwise, that would be acceptable in today's place society.
Including Lincoln.
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln, you're right. You know, he said some things about black people that would have made him totally unelectable anywhere in America today. You know, you have to judge people, I think, by their historical context. George Washington and Thomas Jefferson are simply different people. Now, look, I don't mean to excuse George Washington, you know, for having slaves, or for the fact that after the Revolutionary War, one of his primary aims was rounding up his slaves that the British had helped escape and sending them back to his plantation. I don't like that about George Washington, but it's different, I think, for George Washington and the importance of his historical figure, as opposed to people like Robert E. Lee and Nathan Bedford Forrest, who were generals in a war that they lost. It's not, you know, generally common to venerate the military leaders of failed rebellions, unless, you know, you have like some kind of ideological thing that says, well, basically what they were fighting for is right. So I've always, you know, look, I live in the South. I lived in the South for 26 years. I'll never get over the Confederate statues, and I don't understand why they're still in the public square. I mean, if we want to move them to some place that recognizes, you know, the history of this, to graveyards or whatever, that's fine. I don't like to see them in the public square.
And do people, you know, that you talk to sort of in the conservative world, do they get that this, you know, the origin of these statues really was in a pretty dark period in American history, the sort of Woodrow Wilson era, when lynching was abounding and when this sort of backlash against Reconstruction was reaching its apex? Do people know that?
Yeah, you know, that's part of it. I mean, definitely, a lot of these statues were erected a long time after the Civil War. That also kind of period happens to coincidentally.
It would be a shock if Trump was, if he does 4 years.
50-year, 100-year demonstrations of that. But no, look, I you know, would not look kindly upon the idea of erecting, you know, a Nathan Bedford Forrest statue. You know, one of the guys who was the co-founders of the KKK. I don't. Yeah. And look, I understand that he kind of.
He didn't embarrass this country.
In his life, and he was an interesting guy and everything. But for me, again, as a person who lives in the South and who's proud.
That's one, Lex.
People who I would much rather see erected statues.
They found Osama bin Laden.
Great things who are from the
he
South.
fixed the housing economy.
I mean, let's have some statues.
People were actually able to buy housing. Gas was like $4 a gallon when he took over.
That's kind of the idea I have.
So I want to play just really quickly Steve Bannon at CPAC and ask you a question on the other side. Take a listen.
But I think the center core of what we believe, that we're a nation with an economy, not an economy just in some global marketplace with open borders, but we're a nation with a culture and a reason for being. And I think that's what unites us. And I think that is what's going to unite this movement going forward.
Leon, you know, after hearing Donald Trump today, would you say that he himself is a member of the alt-right, or he trucks with alt-right ideology?
You know, I don't know that Donald Trump actually believes much of anything. I would say that mostly, though, he understands that there are people that he needs or wants to have on his side politically, and is definitely willing to, you know, dog whistle, or whatever the term you want to call it is. Look, these people understand how they have to be dealt with in public. They understand the winks and the nods they have to get. They understand that people can't openly come out and say, I think these people are great. Yeah. But the things like the 48-hour delay, the things like the, oh, well, it's both sides, that's exactly what they understand. They hear from that, here is someone who's on my side.
Yeah. Leon Wolf, thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. And next, the Confederate